Okay, I've mixed my resin. I'm using Counterculture DIY Artist Resin, medium viscosity, equal parts A and B. And I'm using Laura's Art Corner products in the resin. She sent me a goodie box and I thought I would try. This is a 12-inch mold. And I'm gonna try something pink, a little bit geode-ish, but not necessarily a geode, but you know, along those lines. This is pale gold, and so that's about an ounce of that. This is English Rose Glitter. I'm gonna put about a half an ounce or so of resin in that. Got a 9-ounce cup or so there. I'm gonna put, I don't know, maybe 7 ounces or so in here. And I'm going to use Cherry Blossom Pink. So I'm just going to use a, let's go with about 1/4 of a teaspoon to 1/8 of a teaspoon. And I'm going to try that first. I always kind of start slow, see how it looks, and then if you add more you can, but you can't really take it out, you know. So it's beautiful and it's a little transparent. I want to add a little bit more to it. And put about the same amount, so we'll say we've got at least 1/4 of a teaspoon in there. I love using pigment powders. They give the color, but they also give the shimmer, and that's what I love about them. I think I'm going to fill this cup up. And I may add more pigment to it, I'm not sure. It's really beautiful. Now, I'm going to put maybe about 2 ounces. I'm going to put a little bit more of that pigment powder. Probably about the same, about 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon. But I'm only doing it in 2 ounces this time. So it's going to be heavily pigmented there. Maybe I'll add just a little bit more resin. Sometimes you just don't really know which way you want to go. It's kind of a guessing game. This is Let's Resin. I'm going to throw in just a little bit extra pigment. That was wine red. I'm going to stir that in and see how much it changes. So I want it to be a little bit deeper than this. Healthier squirt this time. Let's see what this gives us. Sometimes if I look in the camera I can tell a little bit of a difference. Still not a lot. Put another big dose of the wine red in. Now I can see a little bit more difference. That's what I wanted. So I'm going to just go ahead and pour this in the middle. I have no idea how much resin this mold will hold. I did not measure this one. I would say at least 16 to 20 ounces, and I think I have about 20 ounces or so mixed up. I can always add a clear coat on top if I need to. That is so pretty. That pink is so shimmery and pretty. So if I see it shifting that way, it means that maybe my board might be a little low. I'm going to add a couple of sticks. I shift too much because it'll move the rocks, and I don't want that's pink opal is what's around the edge. I want to make sure they kind of stay on the edge. This is the deeper pink. Let's see. Sometimes I don't breathe when I'm doing this. I want some of the rose gold sparkles right in the middle. And actually it can fan out a little bit if it needs to, and it may get covered up by the pink. I don't know. I may add more. The glitter. Oh, this is thicker. I feel like it's shifting again. And I didn't realize I was not in frame. I was trying to keep the mixing area down here, so I just want to let this rest. I'm gonna heat this first. Okay. I want some clear around the rock area, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in real quick. These are getting covered up. Now I'm going to do I sprayed it with a little alcohol too. People do that, and I've never done that, but I did just to see if that helps with bubbles as well. And so this is going to be covered, and I can come back and check on it in probably about 5 hours. I'm curious to see what this will look like. I expect it to be soft and muted. I didn't want any like major sections of colors. I'm curious what it'll look like on the other side. This will still have a little raised pebbles on the edge, and so if the other side is prettier, I can always add a layer of resin on this side again. So that's something to keep in mind. I'll see you next time when it's ready. Okay, so the little clip that you saw very quickly before this one, I came up to my studio and it had been about 5 hours. So, and one way to tell if your resin is still kind of doing its thing is if you pick it up and it feels a little bit warm, then it's still pliable and it's still, you know, it's still working. So, I didn't care for the way it looked. And I thought it's going to probably be more interesting on the other side, which I don't know what it looks like yet. So I went ahead and just mixed up a little bit more of the pale gold and put a few drops of just gold alcohol ink in it and poured it, and then put clear around the edge, so that this will probably be the bottom, is what I'm thinking. We shall see. This is a really large, this is a 12-inch platter or tray. Really good sized. So, and the resin is pretty thick. Before I turn it over, let me measure it for you. It's actually almost 13 inches across. And I poured a ½ inch of resin here in 2 steps. Okay, so there's that side, and you can see the rocks in the clear. That's why I left it clear, as I wanted to be able to see the rocks or pebbles, the pink opals. Okay, so here's the bottom side, which is prettier, I think. It's a little wonky, but it's really pretty, shimmery. It was shifting a little bit, so it did shift, but it could go either way, really. So that was with some of Laura's Art Corner items. It was the rose gold sparkles, which you see here in the center, and the mica powder was the cherry blossom pink, which is really, really pretty. And then I deepened it. So this area here, which you see the deeper color, is where I added a little bit of Let's Resin mostly wine red, just to deepen it up a little bit. It's got the pink opal stones in it. And the glitter, which showed up on this side through multiple layers, is the English rose glitter, which is really, really pretty. You can kind of see it, and it even came through, it shows through even the gold layer. So, there it is. Okay, I'm going to take my mask down for a minute. I've mixed about 4 ounces or so of resin, and I'm going to put a little bit of this pale gold in it, but make it really transparent. Just want a hint of it. And I had taken this out of the mold. The other side is cool looking, but not perfect. It's kind of a little off center, so I wanted to make this more of the focal point. But I want it reversible, and there's still some rocks that are raised, and so I want to add enough resin to make this surface flat. So I did a little decoration. I didn't try to make it even or perfect or anything like that. I just kind of freestyled it. I don't believe in perfection when it comes to art making. I just I like to show imperfections in my art. That just shows I'm human. I'm not a robot. So, okay, so this turned out way more gold. I shouldn't have put so much gold in, but it may cover the design, it may not, I'm not sure. It's still a little bit transparent, so we'll see. I might as well throw in a little bit of glitter, since the gold is pretty strong. I might as well try to make it sparkle a little bit. That's that English rose glitter that was in there that's so beautiful. So we're just going to experiment and see what happens. So I'm stirring and scraping. That's what you always do. I mix my resin, you know, equal parts A and B, the counterculture, and do it 4 minutes in one cup, switch it to another cup, and do it for another couple of minutes. So about 6 minutes of mixing, and always scraping the sides and scraping my stick so that everything is really, really well blended. Again, this may cover up the design, and that's okay if it does, and it just kind of peeks through. if I had more resin, like this, this was not the medium viscosity, it was just a little bit I had left over of the regular, which is a little bit thicker. So I can't add more resin in while it's wet because they don't, I've asked counterculture about that and they don't intermix. You cannot mix them in the process. They will not behave well. So I'm kind of stuck with just this amount of resin, which I'm a little bit disappointed because I wanted that design to come through. If I could have thrown some clear in here to get this to pop back through, I would have. So, just too much gold. I should have just stuck with the clear, which was what I was going to do initially, and I didn't. So, I kind of set myself up for this one. You can see a hint of it popping through the design, but really not a whole lot. Just trying to decide if I want to add any more glitter, but I don't think I am. It's scattered through the gold and it's really pretty. And you do see the little bit of the gold pattern coming through. That inner circle you don't really see, but it might, as the resin settles, it might show up. You never know. But anyway, I'm going to cover it and I'll check back on it in about 5 hours. Okay, this is set up enough, I think, where I can take it off. And unfortunately, I put too much gold in the last layer of resin, which pretty much covered up my beautiful design in the middle, which I hate. And so you can only get glimpses of it depending on how you turn it. So I'm really bummed about that. But anyway. So I already know what the other side looks like, and you do too, because I took it out of the mold originally. So this piece is over a ½ inch thick now, and I just wish that I had gone with clear on the top, like my gut told me. And yet I wanted to make it sparkle and I added the gold. But anyway, it's pretty regardless. I could technically kind of do the design again and put a flood coat on it, and I may not. And there's the other side, which is really pretty. And it sits more level now that I've added the other resin, the other coat, which you can see kind of the layer, how thick it was with the gold. So I'll let this sit and I'll think about it, and before I decide what I'm going to do. And I don't remember where I found this mold. I'll keep looking and see if I can find where I don't find it on my Etsy purchases. I don't see it in Amazon, so I'm going to keep looking. Again, there it is, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Even if it doesn't turn out perfectly sometimes, it's still a learning experience. And you know, I'm still fairly new to resin, so I'm just kind of learning as I go. I could still, I wanted it to be reversible, so I might just put it up on the the video as it is and then see what people think. Because, you know, you can see that little bit through of the gold detail, but not really the beautiful area that was right here that looked like a mandala. So I'll have to think about it. Needless to say, I had fun. And I will see you on my next video. Check out all the links below, and I will provide as many links as I can to the products I used. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on the bell to get notifications when I post new videos. Please share with your friends and ask them to be a subscriber if they're into art and resin and would like to learn stuff. I'm always eager to help people learn how to create art. It's been so healing and beautiful for my life. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I decided I'm going to go ahead and do it. English rose glitter and a little bit of the cherry blossom mica powder mixed in with the medium. So it's shimmery and it's got a little bit of that glitter in it. I just can't not do it. And then I'll flood coat it again with clear. This was more runny than last night, so it bled out a little bit, and that's okay. I still like the design, so it's still pretty. I'm gonna try something instead of using the Deco Art. I think I like the Deco Art acrylic paint better. Deco Art 24 karat gold extreme sheen. And it's got a fine tip writer attached, which is in my Amazon link. And I'm just going to quickly go over some of the detail again. I'm going to let this dry overnight, and I'll put a flood coat on it tomorrow. Just enough to seal in the embellishment. I think I'll be happier than if I had left it, because again I wanted it to be reversible. So now it has the that pale pink cherry blossom shimmer and gold accents, and they'll be embedded under resin. be back. Okay, it's dry, and I've mixed up about 5 ounces of resin. I have no clue how much I need. Like I said, I'm pretty new at this, so I'm just going to pour. I'm going to save a little resin. I have coasters that I can always coat. I just don't know how thick. I'm probably going to need all of the resin, I'm thinking. So I'm done this time. Covering it up. The flood coat is on. I can rest easy tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Finally, I can breathe. I think it's done. Everything looks good. The resin did great. It's pretty. It's elegant, simple. This side is very different. Unfortunately, the rocks, the opal rocks, don't show through much on this side, and they got a little buried in the mica powder. But overall, I think it's still really pretty. So I think it's beautiful. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'll take a picture or two of it outside in the sun, and the link will be below the video. I did find the mold on Amazon. It'll be below the video. So please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Click on the bell in the bottom right to get notifications if you are a subscriber and want to know when I post new videos, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.